All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I switched to a headpiece, so if it's not loud enough, I can go back to the handset.
Okay,
let me know.
You're fine. So my name is Rika Wong. I'm a writer for the Western Front. Would you mind if I record this interview?
That would be just fine.
Okay. Could you say your first and last name and spell them both for me, please?
My name is Dustinterpening, and it is D-U-S-T-I-N. Terpening, T-E-R-P-E-N-I-N-G. And I'm a spokesman or spokesperson for the Department of Ecology.
Great, thank you. So just as a general question, what can you tell me about the project?
Well, the Whatcom Waterway project, it's something that's going to go to construction this summer. It's a $25 million project. It's on Bellingham's waterfront, and it's the first of two phases of construction. We're going to remove contaminated sediment. We're going to cover contaminated sediment with clean material. We're going to remove abandoned structures and debris. We're going to improve retaining walls and flatten shoreline slopes. We're going to do quite a bit of work along the waterway to improve it and clean it up.
Great. Has the cleaning begun yet?
No, actually, the news here, well, you can decide that, but what's happening right now is we've worked with the Port of Bellingham to put together a cleanup plan, what we call an engineering design report. And this engineering design report, we're making it available for public review and comment. And we're doing that before we go to construction, so people can have an opportunity to see what our plans are, and then provide any comments or feedback that they have, and then we'll incorporate that as necessary into the cleanup plan.
Okay, and you said there's two phases. Are there any other kind of steps or stages along the way in the project as well?
Well, we've got the engineering design report, the cleanup plan. We're going to put that out for review between February 26th and March 27th. That's when we're going to accept comments. It'll be available online, and it'll be available at the Bellingham Public Library, as well as some ecology offices. There are a number of ways to look at it, review it, comment on it. That's the first step, and then this summer we'll begin construction. And the second phase won't happen for a couple more years, and there will be a number of steps before that where, we'll work with the community to plan and prepare for that project. But the main focus right now is on this first phase of construction that'll start this summer.
Great. So when do you expect the entire project to be completed?
Well, this first phase should finish up, I believe, this year.
Okay.
And then the next one, it's still a few years out. I don't know. So go ahead and ask any other questions you got.
So you said the project cost is $25 million, correct?
Yep.
I'm not sure if you know the answer to this. I read somewhere that the project cost was $90 million.
So that is so the first phase is $25 million.
Okay.
And then that might be the combined total.
Okay.
But I don't have that one off the top of my head, so we'll have to look that one up.
That's okay. And who exactly is working on the cleanup? Is it just members of the...
So it's the Port of Bellingham and the Department of Ecology.
Mm-hmm.
So the Port of Bellingham will hire a contractor, and then they will manage the contractor, and then the Department of Ecology will oversee it, make sure it's all done correctly and meets state and federal standards.
Great. And then is this being done for a specific reason, or just because it was time for it to get cleaned up, or was this kind of a long time coming?
Well, I don't know how familiar you are with the history of the Whatcom Waterway.
Just a little bit.
But there's been decades of heavy industrial use in that area that have left it littered with debris and contaminated with pollutants. And in the 60s and 70s, Georgia Pacific, the former pulp mill on the waterfront, they used mercury as part of their pulping process, and then they just dumped it directly into the bay. And so the shorelines along the Whatcom Waterway are littered with concrete and asphalt rubble. We've got abandoned docks and pilings and scrap metal, so we're going to clean that up. And then we've got below the surface of the water, we've got a bunch of seafloor that's got contaminated sediment with mercury in it and other pollutants, and we're going to clean that up as well. So, it's got a history of heavy industrial use, and we're going to get out there and clean it up.
Okay, but those are actually all the questions that I have for you. Do you have anything else that you want to share about the project?
Well, let's see. I'll look through my notes here, see what else I've got that you might be interested in. I'm just simply curious, did you happen to get, what are you working off of? Just the website, or I'm just trying to understand where you got the information about this, not because I'm concerned, but because I'm just interested.
Let me see if I can find the email that I received about it.
It would just help me to know what you have in front of you, so I know what to say or what not to say. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Okay, well, let me just read you what I got. It just says, basically this crew is going to clean up the mercury from our waterfront, and our waterfront is gross. Figure out the gist of what the plan is, when it's going to happen, and how much it's going to cost. And then they just asked me to speak to some of the people on our campus, but that's all I have.
All right, well, interesting. When is your story due? When's it supposed to run?
The first draft is due tonight. Tomorrow is our production, so Friday would be the paper.
All right. Well, you are going to be slightly ahead of the curve on this, which is fine.
Okay.
No, I think that's, if you have any other, I've pretty much given you what I have.
Okay.
If you have any other questions or follow-up, after you get started on this story, you can email or call me, and I'd be happy to fill in any details that might have been missed.
Okay, and then I do have a